A massive grizzly bear was dying in the snow. But what happened next would amaze everyone who witnessed it. On a cold winter morning in Alaska, something unbelievable took place. Something that would change how we see these powerful animals forever. It was early December and the forests of Alaska were buried under 3 feet of fresh snow. The temperature had dropped to 20 degrees below zero, making even the smallest movements difficult for any living creature. Most bears should have been sleeping deeply in their winter dens. But on this day, Park Ranger Tom Miller saw something through his binoculars that made him question everything he knew about wild animals. A huge bear, bleeding and badly hurt, was doing something no one had ever seen before. The sight was so unusual that Tom radioed his partner Jenny for backup, his voice shaking as he described what he was seeing. The bear, instead of hiding from humans like wild animals usually do, was purposely moving toward their ranger station. The massive animal left a dark trail of blood in the pure white snow. Each step seemed to cause it terrible pain, but still, it kept moving forward. The bear, which they later discovered weighed nearly 800 pounds, had somehow dragged itself for over 4 miles through the bitter cold. Many animals would have given up, found a quiet place to die, or tried to defend themselves if approached. But this bear was different. As more rangers gathered to watch from a safe distance, they noticed something even more surprising. The injured bear wasn't wandering without purpose. It was following an almost straight path to the only place where humans could help it. Using paths and clearings that led to the station, the bear showed an understanding of the landscape that amazed even veteran park staff. Finally, the bear positioned itself right in front of their station. It stayed there, looking directly at the building with an intelligence that shocked everyone. The bear's eyes, usually fierce and wild, now showed something different, a clear sign of suffering, but also what seemed like a desperate request for help. Lisa Parker, the park's head bear expert with 15 years of experience, arrived at the scene. Her hands trembled as she looked through her binoculars. "In all my years working with bears," she said into her radio, "I've never seen anything like this. This bear knows exactly what it's doing." Word spread quickly beyond the park's boundaries. Within hours, wildlife experts from all over Alaska were driving through the snow-covered roads to reach the scene. News helicopters circled overhead, careful to keep their distance. This was becoming one of the most unusual wildlife events anyone had ever witnessed. Dr. James Wilson, a famous bear behavior expert, made an emergency flight from Seattle to study the situation. He had studied bears for 30 years but had never heard of one actively seeking human help. "Bears are incredibly smart animals," he explained to the gathering crowd of park staff. "But this level of understanding, this ability to know where to find help, this is something entirely new." The bear's condition was getting worse with each passing hour. Its breathing was becoming shallow, and its movements were getting weaker. But still, it kept its eyes fixed on the humans nearby, as if holding on to its last hope for survival. This wasn't just a random encounter. It was the beginning of something that would change our understanding of these magnificent animals forever. As medical teams and wildlife experts raced to prepare for what would be an incredibly dangerous rescue attempt, they had no idea they were about to uncover secrets about bears that would amaze the whole world. This bear's incredible story would prove that these animals were far more intelligent and aware than anyone had ever imagined. The next 72 hours would become the most intense and surprising time in Alaska's wildlife rescue history. As the sun began to set on that cold December day, turning the snowy landscape golden, rescue teams prepared for what would be the most challenging and rewarding mission of their lives. The bear's cry for help was just the beginning. What happened next would not only save its life, but would also make scientists rethink everything they thought they knew about wild animals. The rescue of a dying bear is never simple. As the medical team prepared their equipment in the fading daylight, they knew they were about to attempt something incredibly dangerous. Even a badly injured bear could easily kill a person with one swipe of its massive paw. But this bear's unusual behavior gave them hope that maybe, just maybe, they could help it. Dr. Sarah Thompson, the park's chief veterinarian, led the rescue team. She had treated many wild animals before, but never a fully grown grizzly bear that was still conscious. With 20 years of experience, she knew this would be the biggest challenge of her career. The team loaded their tranquilizer guns with enough medicine to safely put the bear to sleep, knowing they would only get one chance to do this right. As they slowly approached the injured bear, something extraordinary happened. Instead of showing aggression or trying to run away, the bear remained still. Its eyes followed their movements, but it made no threatening gestures. It was almost as if it understood they were there to help. The only sounds were the crunch of snow under the team's boots and the bear's labored breathing. When they got closer, they could finally see why the bear was dying. Its massive body was covered in deep wounds, but these weren't ordinary injuries from fighting other bears or hunting for food. The injuries told a shocking story that made everyone's blood run cold. The bear had been caught in illegal hunting traps, possibly for days before managing to break free. Metal wire had cut deep into its flesh, and some of the wounds were badly infected. Dr. Thompson carefully aimed her tranquilizer gun. The bear watched her, but didn't move. With steady hands, she took the shot. The dart hit perfectly, and within minutes, the massive animal slowly laid its head down in the snow. For the first time, the rescue team could safely approach the bear that had shown such incredible trust in humans. What they discovered next left even the most experienced team members speechless. The bear's injuries were worse than anyone had imagined. Deep cuts wrapped around its body like angry red snakes. Some wounds were so severe that infection had set in, causing dangerous fever. Without help, the bear would have died within hours. But the most surprising discovery was yet to come. As they examined the bear more closely, they found something that explained its unusual behavior. This bear had been tagged as a cub 15 years ago, just a mile from the ranger station. It had grown up seeing rangers in the area, watching them help other animals, and somehow it had remembered. This wasn't just any bear. It was one that had learned over years that humans in this particular place meant safety. The medical team worked frantically as darkness fell. They set up powerful lights and brought in portable medical equipment. Dr. Thompson cleaned the wounds while checking the bear's vital signs every few minutes. The infection had spread through much of its body, and its temperature was dangerously high. They needed to act fast if they wanted to save this extraordinary animal. News of the rescue spread quickly across the country. People were amazed by the story of a wild bear that seemed to know exactly where to go for help. Television crews gathered at the park's entrance, waiting for updates. Wildlife experts from around the world began calling, eager to learn more about this unprecedented case. As the team worked through the night, they discovered more evidence of the bear's incredible journey. Based on the blood trail and paw prints, they calculated that the bear had traveled over 15 miles after escaping the traps. But instead of going deeper into the wilderness, it had deliberately chosen to seek human help. This kind of decision-making shocked even the most experienced bear experts. The next few hours would be critical. The bear's life hung by a thread, and the dedicated team worked tirelessly to save it. But no one could have predicted what would happen next, or how this bear's story would touch the hearts of millions of people around the world. The team working to save the bear was about to witness something that would change wildlife medicine forever. As day broke over the emergency medical camp, what happened next would stun everyone present. The massive bear, still under careful sedation, did something that no one had ever seen before in wildlife rescue history. While Dr. Thompson was checking the bear's wounds, the huge animal started making unusual sounds. Not growls or roars, but soft, almost whimpering noises that sounded eerily like crying. These weren't normal bear sounds. They were different, almost human-like, and seemed to happen whenever the medical team stepped away. It was as if the bear was begging them not to leave. But the real shock came when they discovered something in one of the bear's deepest wounds. Hidden beneath layers of infected tissue, they found a tiny microchip. This wasn't just any tracking device. It was an experimental wildlife tag placed 15 years ago by a research team studying bear intelligence. The data it contained would reveal something absolutely incredible. The chip had recorded fragments of the bear's brain activity over the years. When the scientists downloaded this information, they couldn't believe what they found. This particular bear had shown intelligence levels far beyond what anyone thought possible for a wild animal. It had learned to recognize human patterns, understand rescue operations, and even memorize the locations of ranger stations throughout the park. News of this discovery spread like wildfire. scientists from around the world began calling the park. This wasn't just about saving one bear anymore. This was a breakthrough that could change everything we knew about animal intelligence. The bear had not only sought help by chance, it had made a conscious, intelligent decision based on years of observation. As the medical team continued their work, more surprises emerged. The bear's blood tests revealed something extraordinary. It had extremely high levels of a hormone, usually only found in animals, that form strong social bonds like wolves or dolphins. This explained its unusual trust in humans and its ability to seek help instead of hiding away to die, like most injured wild animals. The story caught the attention of major news networks. People around the world were glued to their screens, waiting for updates about the bear that had shown such remarkable intelligence and trust in humans. Scientists began calling it Einstein, after the genius physicist, because it had shown problem-solving abilities never before seen in its species. But the biggest surprise was yet to come. As the bear slowly began to recover, it displayed behavior that shocked even the most experienced wildlife experts. It started responding to simple hand signals from its caregivers, showing an understanding that went far beyond basic animal instincts. When the medical team would arrive each morning, the bear would lift its head and make direct eye contact, as if acknowledging their presence and help. Dr. James Wilson, the bear behavior expert who had flown in from Seattle, could hardly believe what he was seeing. "In 30 years of studying bears," he said, "I've never seen anything like this. This bear isn't just surviving, it's actively participating in its own recovery in a way we didn't think was possible for wild animals." The bear's remarkable story was starting to change how people thought about wildlife. If this massive predator could show such intelligence and trust, what else might animals be capable of? Research teams from universities across the country began planning new studies to explore animal intelligence in ways they had never considered before. As the third day of treatment came to an end, the medical team had another surprise in store. But even with all the amazing things they had already seen, no one was prepared for what would happen next. The bear was about to show them something that would completely change our understanding of these magnificent creatures forever. The fourth day of the bear's treatment brought a breakthrough that nobody expected. As the morning sun lit up the medical camp, Einstein, as everyone now called him, showed signs of improvement that defied all medical expectations. The infection that should have taken weeks to heal was already showing remarkable signs of recovery. But it wasn't just the physical healing that amazed everyone. Dr. Thompson discovered something in Einstein's blood work that would revolutionize wildlife medicine. His body was producing a type of antibody that no one had ever seen before in any bear species. These special antibodies were fighting off the infection at an incredible speed. Scientists from the Centers for Disease Control flew in immediately to study this discovery, believing it might hold secrets that could help develop new medicines for humans. But the truly unbelievable moment came during a routine checkup. As Dr. Thompson approached with medicine, Einstein did something that made everyone in the camp freeze in amazement. He slowly lifted his injured paw, holding it out toward her, just like a dog would do with its owner. This wasn't random behavior. He repeated this gesture every time the medical team needed to check his wounds, making their work much easier and safer. The news of Einstein's remarkable behavior spread worldwide. Videos of his interactions with the medical team went viral on social media. People couldn't believe what they were seeing. A wild grizzly bear, one of nature's most fearsome predators, cooperating with humans like a gentle giant. Millions of viewers watched in awe as Einstein demonstrated levels of trust and intelligence that shattered all previous understanding of wild animal behavior. Scientists studying the data from his old microchip made another startling discovery. Over the years, Einstein had developed a unique pattern of exploring the park. He had created mental maps of human locations, water sources, and safe spaces, showing planning abilities that researchers had never seen in any wild animal. This wasn't just instinct, it was advanced problem-solving at work. As Einstein's strength returned, he began showing even more remarkable behaviors. He would react to his name, respond to simple hand signals, and even seem to understand when the medical team was trying to help him versus when they were just checking on him. Dr. Wilson, who had been documenting everything, said this case would rewrite textbooks on animal intelligence. The bear's incredible story caught the attention of major wildlife organizations around the world. Representatives from leading conservation groups flew in to witness this extraordinary case firsthand. What they saw convinced them to start new programs studying animal intelligence and communication. Einstein's story was changing how humans thought about wildlife protection and conservation. But perhaps the most touching moment came during a procedure to clean his deepest wounds. As the medical team worked, they noticed tears rolling down Einstein's face. While bears can produce tears, these were different. They came at moments when the team showed him kindness or relieved his pain. It was as if he understood and appreciated their help, showing emotions that many thought impossible for a wild animal. By the end of the week, Einstein had become more than just a patient. He was teaching humans something profound about the capabilities of wild animals. His case was challenging everything scientists thought they knew about animal consciousness, intelligence, and emotional capacity. But even as he recovered, the biggest surprise was still to come. A discovery that would touch hearts around the world and change wildlife conservation forever. As Einstein's recovery progressed, he revealed something that would touch hearts around the world. The medical team discovered that his journey to the ranger station wasn't just about saving himself. Trail cameras in the forest had captured footage showing that before making his way to the station, Einstein had actually led another injured bear, a young female, to a safe spot near a water source. Even while severely injured himself, he had helped another bear survive. This discovery stunned wildlife experts. Bears are usually solitary animals, rarely showing concern for others outside of mother-cub relationships. But Einstein had gone out of his way to help another bear before seeking help for himself. This behavior suggested levels of empathy and social awareness never before documented in wild bears. The young female bear was quickly found and rescued too. She had less severe injuries and, amazingly, seemed to take cues from Einstein's calm behavior around humans. When brought to the same medical camp, she displayed similar trust, though not quite at Einstein's remarkable level. Scientists began to wonder if Einstein was somehow teaching other bears about human assistance. By the 10th day of treatment, Einstein's recovery had progressed so well that the medical team started planning for his release. But they faced an unusual challenge. The bear showed no signs of wanting to leave. Unlike typical wild animals that try to escape at the first chance, Einstein remained calm and cooperative, as if understanding that the treatment wasn't finished yet. The world watched through daily social media updates as Einstein continued to break records in his recovery. His wounds were healing faster than any documented case in wildlife medicine. The special antibodies in his blood became the subject of intensive research, with scientists believing they might have discovered a new type of super healing property unique to his species. During this time, Einstein's intelligence continued to amaze everyone. He learned to lift different paws when asked, allowing for easier treatment. He would turn his body to show where he was feeling pain, and most incredibly, he developed a way of making specific sounds to communicate different needs. One for food, another for water, and a distinct sound when he was in pain. Dr. Thompson and her team documented everything meticulously. Their research paper about Einstein's case would later become the most referenced study in wildlife behavior history. Scientists began to question how many other animals might have similar capabilities that humans had simply failed to notice or understand before. The most powerful moment came when they tested Einstein's memory. Using photographs, they showed him pictures of the rangers who had helped him years ago when he was tagged as a cub. His brain activity, monitored through advanced equipment, showed clear signs of recognition. He remembered them, proving that bears could form long-term memories of positive human interactions. Conservation groups used Einstein's story to launch new wildlife protection initiatives. His case proved that animals were far more aware and intelligent than previously thought, leading to stricter laws against animal trapping and stronger punishment for poachers. Donations poured in from around the world, funding new research into animal intelligence and behavior. The day of Einstein's release back into the wild brought mixed emotions for everyone involved. After 6 weeks of treatment and observation, the bear who had changed everything we knew about wildlife was ready to return home. But this release would be unlike any other in history. Instead of rushing back into the wilderness like most rescued animals, Einstein did something extraordinary on his release day. He stood at the edge of the medical camp for nearly an hour, looking at each team member as if memorizing their faces. Dr. Thompson, who had spent countless hours treating him, couldn't hold back tears as she watched this massive creature show such clear signs of recognition and what appeared to be gratitude. But Einstein's story didn't end with his release. The park installed special cameras throughout his territory, and what they recorded in the following months amazed everyone. Einstein was spotted leading other injured animals to areas near ranger stations. In one incredible instance, he guided a limping wolf to a clearing where rangers could easily find it. It was as if he had become a wilderness guardian, using his knowledge to help other animals survive. The impact of Einstein's story spread far beyond the park's boundaries. Universities worldwide started new research programs focused on animal intelligence. The Einstein Initiative, as it became known, led to the discovery of similar behaviors in other wildlife species. Bears, wolves, and even elk were documented showing levels of intelligence and emotional awareness that scientists had previously thought impossible. The medical breakthroughs from Einstein's case proved just as significant. The unique antibodies found in his blood led to the development of new treatments for severe infections, not just in animals but potentially in humans too. Medical researchers called it the Einstein effect, when an animal's biology reveals secrets that can help save human lives. Einstein's story also changed how parks handle wildlife emergencies. Ranger stations across North America adopted new protocols for injured animals, understanding that some might actually be seeking help. Within the first year after Einstein's case, 23 similar incidents were recorded where wild animals appeared to deliberately approach humans for assistance. Perhaps the most touching part of Einstein's legacy came from the motion-activated cameras in the park. They frequently caught him patrolling the same areas where he had once been injured, often clearing away debris that could harm other animals. In winter, he was seen creating paths through deep snow that other animals could use more easily. He had become more than just a survivor. He was actively making his environment safer for others. 3 years after his rescue, Einstein made headlines again. During a severe forest fire, he was spotted leading a group of younger bears away from danger, using the same routes he had learned over the years. He took them to safe zones near ranger stations, proving that he not only remembered his own rescue, but could use that knowledge to protect others. Today, Einstein still roams the park, easily recognizable by his distinctive scars and remarkable behavior. Visitors sometimes glimpse him in the distance, and park rangers report that he still occasionally appears near the station, not for help, but almost as if checking in on his human friends. His territory has become one of the most studied areas in wildlife research, and young scientists come from around the world hoping to learn more about the bear who changed our understanding of wild animals forever. The story of the dying bear who cried for help became more than just a viral sensation or a scientific breakthrough. It became proof that the natural world still holds mysteries we're only beginning to understand. Einstein showed us that the line between human and animal intelligence might be much thinner than we ever imagined, and that kindness and consciousness exist in forms we're still discovering. His legacy lives on in every new wildlife protection law passed, in every research project studying animal intelligence, and in the hearts of millions who followed his incredible journey. The bear who dared to trust humans when he needed them most ended up teaching humanity an unforgettable lesson about the true nature of wild animals and their remarkable capabilities. Have you ever wondered how many incredible stories like this are happening around us every day? Nature is full of amazing moments that challenge everything we think we know. If this story touched your heart, here's what you can do. Subscribe to our channel for more unbelievable true stories that will leave you amazed. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our newest uploads. Every week we bring you remarkable tales that prove truth is more extraordinary than fiction. Share this video with someone who needs to see something incredible today. Together we can spread these amazing stories that remind us of the wonders that exist in our world. Leave a comment below telling us what amazed you most about this story. We love hearing your thoughts and reactions to these extraordinary moments. Want to see more unbelievable stories like this? Give this video a thumbs up to let us know, and remember to check out our other videos for more amazing moments that will leave you speechless. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. Stay tuned for our next video. You won't believe what happens next.